I've had discussions with people. I'm like, I honestly did not understand the end of the movie. But a movie I did understand and got super emotional with and loved was American Sniper, which that was up for 2015 Best Picture, and oh my goodness, talk about a good movie. I loved this movie. I know some people had issues with it because, it's talking about, these Marines and a sniper in the military, and I mean, of course, it's an amazing book too. I'm not going to tell you guys what happens in the movie, but obviously we follow this man who's a Marine. You follow him through his tours and kind of his struggles with PTSD and just his struggles within himself morally of how to react in war. And I mean, his job was literally, it's about the man who holds the most kills within the military, or sniper kills. So you would think it's definitely one of those movies that is going to pull on your heartstrings and pull on what's morally right and what's morally wrong and what's you have to do in war. It gives you just a nice little piece of that. And Bradley Cooper was the American Sniper. I don't remember the name. I'm going to make sure I say the name before this is over. But it's just one of those movies that really pulls on your heartstrings, and again, you get to see an actor like Bradley Cooper really take on this role. I think Chris Kyle was the U.S. Navy SEAL, so he's not just a Marine. He was a U.S. Navy SEAL. So that's even, I disrespected him by calling him a Marine. But so he had to take on the role of Chris Kyle, who was this big, burly man, and Bradley Cooper, he's tall, but he wasn't that thick. I think he had to gain 50 pounds of for this role. Again, crazy that he had to do that, but he really looks like the guy, because they show the pictures of Chris Kyle in the movie, and you're like, wow, he did really good. But no, he's a legend, and it tells his story and tells you it shows you, the side of the Marine, and then also the side of his wife, the person who has to deal with some of the stuff that he brings back with him. Whether you like it or not, you have to deal with it. So it was really cool. I really liked the movie. I mean, I enjoyed Birdman too, to an extent, but I would have picked American Sniper over Birdman.
Yeah, well, first of all, Bradley Cooper is now offended, so...
Is offended?
No, I'm kidding. Just like it's like, oh, well, George Clooney's offended. Now Bradley Cooper's offended. I'd feel more intimidated by Bradley Cooper than by George Clooney. I'm just saying that right now. But,
I think that's good.
All right, so closing it off for me is a movie that got nominated for Best Picture in 2011. Fell short to The Artist, but honestly, this is one of those movies I would say in my heart of hearts really deserved to win that year. But thankfully, I think 12 Years a Slave really kind of took it home in 2014. Movie The Help. Basically, segregation at one of its more lowest. Basically, it talks about the story of African American maids and everything that they've had to go through, but also talking about a young woman, Emma Stone, Scooter. She wants to know, kind of what life is like for them. She wants to know all the stories. She wants to know all the experiences that they've had, and creates the actual book of The Help, which I thought was just beautifully done. Everything about this was just amazing, and all the quotes that I think the main character, if I remember, trying to remember the main lead character's name, Abilene. Gosh, damn, I can't get the last name out. I
don't remember the names, but I know Octavia Davis, is it, who played her?
I think so, yeah. But this is just one of those movies that really kind of hits home, and really, to me, it was just one of those things where it's just like, wow, can't believe how big of dicks that we were to them back then. I'm just glad that, things have changed immensely. They haven't changed 100%, but it's changed a lot more than it did back then. And so many of the quotes that they had. Abilene's quote to the little girl of, you are kind, you are smart, you are important. That really hits home. And it really kind of shows that, again, it's really amazing how lazy some parents can be and how much connected the kids can feel more towards somebody else because they have been a mother or they have been a father to these people. So they know how to, treat their own kids. They know how to really treat, their kids. And all honesty, you guys, for the love of God, the fact that there's a line in that movie that is, "Eat my shit," there is no way that you can pass that up as Best Picture. Oh my gosh. And the fact that it's not only metaphorical and literal, for those of you that know what I'm talking about, come on. That was one of the best moments I've seen in the entire movie. Because as soon as she said it, I'm like, wow, that's strong. Then she begins to explain what she put in her pie, and I'm like, oh, well, everybody now wants that to do that to their employer. It's just like, oh, this is good pie. Yeah, eat my shit. What? I'm telling you to eat my shit, and you have. And
I'm sorry. Her name is Octavia Spencer.
Sorry, okay, Octavia Spencer. Okay.
I think I got her Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer.
Oh, okay. But yeah, all honesty, just a great movie. And again, one of those really tremendous roles that Emma Stone can really do. She just shows that, she can be happy, she can be serious, and very emotional. Just one of the best works I think she's done. Just all around great movie, and I'm glad that we get a chance to talk about this because it is just so awesome to watch. I've seen it at least twice already, so.
Oh yeah, I love The Help was awesome, and yeah, you are kind, you are important. No, I love that. That was something that we would say as friends then. All my friends, we would tell them, "Oh no, you are kind." But no, The Help is a great one. I fully agree. I loved The Help. But yeah, you want me to tell them my last one?
Yeah, all right, go for it. You are closing it off.
All right. Well, this was a hard one because I decided to go from last year, which I saw a bunch of those movies last year, 2016 Oscars. And the winner, of course, was The Revenant. And everybody loved that. Everybody, had fun with the bear and, with Leonardo's first win, first Oscar win. He finally obtained the Oscar.
Leo!
He did it. He got it. But personally, when I watched The Revenant, I enjoyed it, but I also, I'm going to admit, I fell asleep a little bit within the middle of it. I had to rewatch it a few times because it was an Oscar movie. It was long, and it was about a guy's long journey, so of course they had to make the movie super long, and it's very quiet, so it's a great movie to fall asleep to. Unless the bear comes. Once the bear comes, you're like, oh God, no, this is loud, this is scary. But, a really good action scene with that. The bear attack was the best scene. But, I do think there was some more movies that year that really grabbed my attention, and two of them are, one's The Martian, and the other one was Mad Max Fury Road. And both of those I thought were a little more interactive than The Revenant. The Martian, though, is, again, kind of what we were talking about, a singular actor in the role of really pulling the whole movie, which is, why can't I think of his name? Matt Damon. Matt Damon being stuck on Mars for 4 or 5 years, I think. So that
The Martian, yeah.
It could also get a little boring to me. It had some really funny parts, but I had to pick Mad Max as the one that I would have loved to see win Best Picture. One, just because it's a comic book. It's a comic book movie, and it's nominated for Best Picture. What? That's awesome. That's automatically awesome to me. None of the Marvels, none of these amazing high grossing movies ever really get nominated for Oscars like that. And I don't really know why. I think a lot of them have potential. I mean, the CGI, the effects, the acting, they all do really well, but I guess maybe they gross too much money, or they're not It's funny, I was going to say, oh, maybe because they're based off of comic books, but let's be real, most of the Oscar movies are based off of books. So, I don't know. I don't know why. So I was really excited to see that Mad Max made it to this level of the Oscars, and even just to have it nominated is amazing, but it would have been just epic for it to take home an Oscar. It's kind of a reboot of, an older movie, but it was just amazing, and just the trip and the whole world they had to make, and the makeup and just the rules of the world. It was so cool. And Charlize Theron had to play somebody who without an arm. It was so cool. And she shaved her head for the movie, kind of like in Les Mis. Anne Hathaway shaved her head too. Extreme roles. But yeah, I would say Mad Max had a great story, and if you know what Mad Max is, then you already know that it's going to be crazy, filled with intense skulls and death and crazy weird guys doing crazy weird stuff and driving amazing cars that can blow up anything. So it's just a really fun adventure that is not the usual Oscar Best Picture nominated film. So it was cool to see that something like this, something comic book related, got nominated. So I would think it would have been really cool if it won. I get why it didn't, but still, gotta give it props.
I want to make this kind of like a side note before we wrap things up. For the nominations this year, I didn't look at a lot of these, and I'm thinking, okay, I can understand that, blah, blah, blah. One that kind of actually shocked me was one nominee for makeup and hairstyling was actually Suicide Squad. That's the only comic book related movie that I see on this entire list. They don't have Captain America Civil War on here. They don't have any of the other big time movies, which is very disappointing. Oscars, what are you doing? What's that?
I thought Deadpool was nominated.
Deadpool finally got nominated?
I thought.
I know that there was a petition to have him get nominated, and honest to God, he should. I mean, geez, Ryan Reynolds. Come on, people. It's Ryan Reynolds, and it's Deadpool, and it was one of the greatest grossing movies of all time. But also another one was, I think, actually, one that's actually a bit of a relief was Rogue One actually got 2 nominations, one for visual effects and one for sound mixing. So at least there's that saving grace. Oh, wait, no, I'm wrong. Doctor Strange actually got a nomination for visual effects, too, so to let you guys know, there's a couple of my spoilers for who I'm picking for visual effects and for makeup and hairstyling. So not to give too much away, but
yeah, I'm gonna go with they're lucky they got an Oscar nomination. Suicide Squad. But if they're gonna get nominated for something, knowing that it was makeup, I'm like, okay, that's all right. That's fine. That's fine. They did do a lot of makeup and a lot of cool effects, but.
At least it wasn't. At least it wasn't for writing, because oh my god, that movie just tanked like crazy. Or original screenplay, yeah, no, it's not original. It is just no. All right.
Because it wasn't like Suicide Squad.
Right. All right. So that is going to wrap it up for this edition of our Oscar featured Change the F Up series. Of course, guys, you can always check out the lovely VicTori Belle on Twitter at VictoryClark04. Also check her out on her website, VictoryBelle.com. And please, by all means, give her a like on Facebook. She definitely deserves it. You could also check her out on YouTube for the Deadersons, as well as you could also check her out co-hosting with Dedgar on Dedgar's Dark Coffin Classics. Any big events coming up for you this month or even in February?
In February there is MightyCon Milwaukee, so that's February 11th. So we'll be up in Milwaukee, Dedgar's Dark Coffin Classics girls, and Dedgar, of course, himself. So I hope to see people there.
There you go. MightyCon is coming back to Milwaukee. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you can always find me on Twitter at NateFandGreat. Usually this is the point where I go into a long list of where to find us. But guys, by all means, check it out in the description here if you're on the Spreaker.com or on the iTunes app. I'm kind of do that just to save myself a little bit of fresh air. And also, for all the other people that you can follow, check it out in the description below. again, that's going to wrap it up for this edition. Next week, we will continue on with our Oscar features, so it is going to be awesome. It's going